about the city we're going to talk about, and then we will start talking about in detail about the city. Let's have a look at the video first.
There is no sound.
There is no audio in it.
Devesh?
Yes, yes.
No sound?
Yes.
Okay, seems like the video is stuck. So, okay.
Devesh, I think we should give the website address. Everyone can watch this video by themselves on YouTube, because there is no sound and the quality of the video is not acceptable, I would say.
Okay, okay. Then let's go ahead with the detailed information which we have now. Right. Great. So we
Can you share on? Can you share the?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you share the website on the this message?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll share all the links.
Chat window, yeah.
Chat window, yes, yes, yes. Now, to talk about Lviv, we must understand how to connect to Lviv now. I have this the road map which says that it's about 540 kilometers. Can you explain to our participants, how's the journey from Kyiv to Lviv? Let's say if they try to connect by road,
540 kilometers in Ukrainian roads is a little bit, it will be boring, a little bit boring. So 540 kilometers, 70. So it will take approximately 7 to 8 hours. So it will, if you want to connect by road, it will be a little bit boring. So I would suggest if they want to, if customers choose to go by road, then we can do one stopover on the road. I mean, on the way. So in one of the cities. So then we can connect to Lviv. So let's say 3 hours, 4 hours drive. There are so many cities in between, like Zhytomyr, and you can see.
Absolutely. So if it's going to be a drive for about 500 kilometers, then people would definitely take some halts in between. So maybe we can give a halt in between for 2 lakhs, and people take rest for a while for about 2, 3, 4 hours, and then they can start off to their destination.
2, 3 hours will be too much, but 1 hour, 1.5 hours. So in between somewhere to stop just to see the city, for example, in between, for example, Zhytomyr city is very famous city. The Soviet Union, during Soviet Union, the first engineer who made the space rocket, the Yuri Gagarin. And the constructor's name was Mr. Korolev, and he was born and brought up in Zhytomyr city, which is in Kiev. And there they made a big museum dedicated for the space and the space technology. So there we can stop. And but I would suggest if they want to go from Kiev to Lviv, there are so many options. Number one is by road, by car, by minibus, by bus. Number two, by speed train. So it leaves around 7 o'clock in the morning, and it will reach by 11, depending on the day of travel. It will take 4 or 5 hours. So by 12 o'clock they will reach the Lviv city. So by the time they reach the hotel, it will be check-in time. So the hotel's international check-in time is after 2 p.m. So by 2 p.m. they can easily reach the Lviv city. This is second option, and third option is by aircraft, by flight. There are not, because 540 kilometers is not a long distance, and there are not so many flights, but one flight in the morning, one flight in the evening. So there are two flights. At least there is an option. There is an option of reaching this Lviv city by air.
How about the local train connectivity?
Train connectivity, this is what I'm saying. So there are speed trains and there are normal trains. So normal trains, like normal trains, they stop in each station, and there is each station, let's say they will serve for 5-10 minutes. Most of them, they are overnight trains, and overnight trains, so you can sleep. There are sleep compartments in there, so you can have a sleep. And but I would suggest to go by these speed trains. By, let's say, 7 o'clock, by noon you will be in Lviv. You will see the daylight. You will see the outskirts. I mean, these are scenic views of Ukraine, how beautiful the country is. So they can check and they can see. And, 4 hours, 5 hours is better than spending 7 hours, 8 hours by road.
And a group of people can easily book speed train in advance. They can make bookings and reservations. That's not a problem.
We will do it. So the clients cannot do it, but we will do it on their behalf, of course. It's not a big deal. Yeah.
Tell us the basic difference, between Kyiv and Lviv. People are going to Kyiv, which is the capital. Definitely, they have to land at Kyiv. But why they should go to Lviv? What is the difference? Is it like Lviv, the culture? Is it,
Okay, Lviv is a city in 1998. The Kiev, I mean, the whole city, all part of the Lviv city, all part of Lviv city, like you can say Purana Lviv. So it became, you know, UNESCO heritage, open air museum. It is the whole city is a museum by itself. So once you go there, you will not feel yourself. Kyiv is a cosmopolitan city. You will see it's a capital. So you will see everything here. I mean, the capital, huge traffic. So all the cars, ecological problems. But in Lviv city, especially in the city center, where the car movement, I mean, this motor vehicles are forbidden to drive. So the whole Kyiv, whole old Kyiv city. So you can, I mean, Lviv city, you can just walk around. So from all the majority, 90% of all the historical places, churches, let it be churches, let it be museums, let them be restaurants. Everything is located within, you know, walking distance from the city center only. So in the city center, only tram is allowed to drive, only a tram and cycles are allowed. Otherwise, no public transport, no buses, no coaches, no taxi, nothing. You will not find any of these kind of vehicles. So
I think this is a great information for our participants, Anwar. You know, people go to cities and they visit, maybe you normally visit a museum or a monument, which is a UNESCO heritage site. Here they're going in a city, and this entire city is a UNESCO heritage site. So it's something exceptional.
Yes. And it is called as the capital of Western Ukraine. It's like, you know, a boutique city, you can say. Some small, very compact city, where you can everything is located on reachable distance. You know, so from, let's say, if you stay in the hotel near the city center, so wherever you want to go, you can take a walk. And Indians who are planning to come to Lviv city, they should be ready for long distance walking. It should not be. It is not that you will. For example, in Kyiv city, one monument is here, so the people will go by bus from one monument to the second monument. But in Lviv city, everything is in walkable distance only.
I can understand. I don't think so. Our people mind walking in such a beautiful city, because you know, people like to take pictures. They would like to, you know, make a whole library of pictures. So
hello, yeah, you see, hello. I think something wrong with something wrong with the internet. Okay. Anyways, the city is very multicultural, very tourist friendly country city, and as per the the polls, what they say is every 9 tourists out of 10 they want to come back to Lviv once again. It is very beautiful city, and what is good about the city, what I like most about the city, the temperature is very mild. The weather is very mild. In winters, the temperature very rarely drops below 0 degrees. It's sub-zero. But during summers, the highest temperature is 25 degrees above Celsius, which is very comfortable, and very nice just to walk around. You know, this whole city. And what is good is, let's say, there are so many monuments. From you come out from one monument, and maybe 50 meters away there is a second monument, and another maybe to 50 meters or 100 meters away there will be a second monument. So it will take, I don't know for how long you will come. So but your itinerary will be full of the sightseeing, and you know, this discovering new destinations, new monuments.
Well, you've been looking after Indian tourists for quite some work. How many days you you know, suggest to our clients to plan their trip to Lviv? Minimum, how many days they must spend here?
Minimum 3 days, 4 days. But I would suggest, but my opinion is, just knowing the Indian mentality, I would suggest to combine Lviv with Kiev or with other cities, because Lviv, you see, Lviv is a historical place. It is not something. It's not something, like, it's not very famous for nightclubs, or let's say It's not a good destination for mice. It's not good destination for but it is very good destination for retired people, the educated people who are very much interested in culture, who are very much interested in history.
I think mice would love to come here, Anwar. Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Because, I know that, mice have been visiting Samarkand, the place in Uzbekistan, for a long period. And Samarkand is actually a historical place. And, this place is totally different from Samarkand, which is only mosque and mausoleums. This is like an open market.
You should understand one thing. Samarkand, mice groups, they are going and they're coming back. They're going in the morning and they're coming back by the evening.
Yeah.
And whereas Lviv is not easily accessible. You cannot go in the morning and you cannot come back in the evening. This is the main constraint. So if you want to go, you have to go in the morning. You can stay overnight, but if the group size is more than 20, 25, then it will be quite difficult, quite challenging to find a good property. I mean, the hotel in Lviv city. Why is that? There is no problem with the staying, but there are most of them. They are small boutique hotels, like boutique hotel, 4-star, 5-star hotels. But there is no international branded hotels like Hilton, like this.
But I think it's easy to make our people understand that they are going to a place which is full of culture. So when they are going to Lviv, they must stay like the people. They must behave like the locals. It's better in that way.
This is the reason what I'm saying. So if the group size is not more than 20, 25, then we can manage. It will be easy to look after. People will. I'm sure Indians will love who have come so far. Everyone were excited. This is old city. Like, once you go inside, you will not feel yourself you are walking in modern city. You will be walking like medieval 14th, 15th century cities. Like, so yeah, I'm sure
about some major attractions within the city. What we're going to be showing to our people. Yeah, I see a market in front of me. Can you tell us about what kind of things that people are selling over there and what people can buy? What's around there?
What they can buy, it's up to their fantasy. So whatever you want to find, you can find there. It's okay. This is a Linux Square, which is they call it market square. It used to be in old times. It used to be main central square, where there was a big market, and afterwards, when of course nowadays there is no market, so everything is available in the supermarkets. So they have made like a big square where the people can enjoy. People just sit. You don't have to rush there. You just buy a cup of coffee or one mug of beer, and sit there from, let's say, 1 hour, 2 hours, just watch people walking around. And there are so many things you can buy. It's handmade, handicrafts, souvenirs.
Yeah.
There is, for example, there is a special chocolate factory. There is a special chocolate factory where they make handmade chocolates in front of you. So let's say they take your photograph, they take your photo, and they put a chocolate. They put your photo on the chocolate. So there will be sheet of, let's say, chocolate with your photo on it. And that is, I think, one of the super ideas. This is unique USP, unique selling point of this chocolate factory. Chocolate. Number two, they can buy. Kiev, Lviv is the city of coffee. If you love Americano, this espresso, or just freshly freshly brewed coffee, this is the place you can go and you can try different types of coffee. As per the legend, the Europeans started consuming, and coffee was introduced to Europe by Lviv. I mean, by Ukrainians living in Lviv. So there is a special monument. There is a special monument of the person who is sitting on the on the bag of coffee, and who is introducing the coffee to Polish kings, and then afterwards, after Polish, the Germans, other European nations, they started consuming coffee. And there is a special,
great information on
yeah, there is a special shop where you can, they call it coffee mine. They have made it like a mine, this like a coal mine, like they made like look like a coffee mine. So once you go there, it's a special attraction also. So once you go there, they will give you a uniform of the miner. They will give you a helmet. They will give you a lamp with it. So you can walk around. You can go down, and you can see how coffee is digged from the underground. Though it's not true, but it is made like this. And
it's more like they've made kind of entertainment show which people like to see.
Yes. And this is, wherever you go, every restaurant, every restaurant, let's say eating place, they have their own culture. Let's say there is one special restaurant which is called Kriivka, which is called underground. Like it is made like a, the guerrilla's hideout, like guerrilla's hideout. Once you go there, you have to give password. If you don't give the password, they will not let you in. Then once you go inside, you should not be speaking anything bad about Ukraine, and there will be like a show, like tamasha. The people will come with the guns, and they will start. They can put you in cellar. They can torture kind of thing. This is every restaurant has got its own selling point, USP, unique selling point, you can say.
Mm-hmm.
So and
okay, that's great.
And what is good about Lviv city, Lviv is very close to the Poland border. It's approximately 25 kilometers away from the Ukrainian-Polish border. And Polish people, they come to Lviv to spend their weekends. And it's a for the because it's cheaper, and number two, and it has got more things to offer for the Europeans.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of our participants wants to know that do we have any arrangement of Indian food in Lviv?
Yes, we have. Number one, there is one Indian restaurant in the city center itself, and though I have not tried their food, I am not really sure about the quality. But the Indians who visited that restaurant, they say it is quite good. I mean the quality and the presentation and the service, they were very happy. And besides, there are catering services. Who, for example, if you are living outside of the city, and if you arrange, they can deliver the food, packed food, or catering services.
Mm-hmm. But I'm sure we have the branded chains like Pizza Hut, McDonald's, KFC. Everything is there. So people, if they like, they can order, or they can visit any of these restaurants, branded restaurants, and they can eat what they like.
But if you are coming to Ukraine, you should try Ukrainian national dishes. And it's at least good. Try to visit. One of the, maybe you don't have to eat. You don't have to order anything. But you can drink at least. You can order at least a cup of coffee, or something to drink, something to some snacks. But you should see the aura. You should see the atmosphere.
It's actually very important when you going to a country or a city. You must go to their local restaurants to see their culture. I see a church in front of me. It's a cathedral. We've been seeing many cathedrals in Kyiv, and it says this was situated, and this was built in 1744, 17th century, which is which is quite old. But it's newer comparing to the others which we have in Kyiv. What is special about this one? Do we have a lot of visitors?
I will not tell anything about this cathedral. I will talk in general because you see,
Yeah.
by the time we switch off the computer, everyone will forget. I will tell you in general, so you can choose afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, Lviv
Okay.
Lviv was established by that time. They were Slavic tribes, and the Lviv stands for city of lion. The Russian that time it was Kievan Rus. That king's son was his name was Leo, and he established the city and called it Lviv. So it belongs to the Leon city. Number one. At that time, the official religion of Lviv, of that area, was Eastern Orthodox Church. I mean Russian Orthodox. You can call it Russian Orthodox or Eastern Orthodox Church. Then afterwards, it was occupied by Poland. It was the Lviv was under Poland for approximately 400 to up to 1772. It's approximately 400 years. After 1772, Lviv was occupied by Austria-Hungarian Empire, Habsburgs. Then afterwards, it was in 1918, it was again recaptured by Poland. Then after 1939, it was occupied by Soviet Union, by Russia. So once you go there, you will find many churches. So let's say Greco-Catholic, Roman Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, Armenian Church, Roman Catholic churches, Catholic churches. Even till 16th century, they were mosques. But when the Lviv, Poland had a fight with Turkey, then afterwards these mosques were demolished and they built the churches instead of it. So you will Protestant churches, Lutheran churches. So there are so many churches. Every church, every historical, every building has got their own unique history. So we can tell about this church, or we can tell about that church, but it is the best to come and to visit those churches. And what is good about Lviv city, what I like about the Lviv city, it was never, it was only twice in whole century, in whole history since 13th century till now, it was occupied only 3 times by the foreign invaders. So the historical side or historical view or whatever historical buildings which were built, let's say in 14th century, 15th century, 16th century, they are still intact. They are still there. So even World War II, 1941, 1945, when the Germans occupied Ukraine and the Soviets fought back, and Lviv city was not touched at all. Let's say Kyiv was demolished, you can say. Other cities, they were because of bombs, because of bombing, because of so many fights, street fighting. The city was, but Lviv was very lucky in that sense. Okay.
Great. I see an exceptional, in fact, a unique sightseeing in front of me. It says the oldest pharmacy in Lviv, which is a museum as well, a pharmacy museum.
Yes, it is oldest pharmacy. There are so many museums. This is, it is located in the city center, so everybody knows about this pharmacy museum. It's oldest pharmacy museum, which is still working. So where the people make their own medicines, prescription medicines, and they have turned half of it into a museum. And this is one. Number 2, there is one quite interesting museum also. The lamp which is made of which is lit by kerosene. There is a lamp museum also. So where you can see how the history of these lamps. And it is, there are so many ladies, but I have to tell, there is, Dook, masochism, the culprits, or whatever. There is a special museum. It's a restaurant, but once you go there, it's fully dedicated for, let's say, for internet games. So it is something.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. Okay, no issues.
Yeah.
I also see this one. This opera theater. How different is it? Is it just like the same opera ballet theaters we have in every CIA cities, or something different about it?
It is built in 1900s by Austrian Empire. It is till collapse of Austrian Empire in the 1918. Austria was the how to say cultural center of Europe. If you go to Vienna, Vienna is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. So this particular building was built by the Austrians during Austrian rule, and it's a piece of art. I'm not talking about the performance, but if you're interested in historical architecture, then this is one of the piece of arts.
Okay, that's great. Now, tell me something. You mentioned about there is an issue with the hotels. Now, not exactly an issue that you won't find branded hotels here. Now,
Yes,
what about things around the city? What about something around the city? If people, let's say we have people who would like to stay in the city for quite a while, then what else they can do apart from just visiting monuments and things like this?
It's different types of activities, like aqua parks, like activities like shooting. Shooting is not possible, but how do you call it? Paintball, paintball activities, and paintball and hot air balloon, and helicopter rides. So there are so many things. So we can just think of it. And what is good about Lviv, and it is very close to the mountain range, Carpathian mountain ranges. So from there you can go. For example, if you visit Lviv during winters, you can go in the morning to the skating ranges.
Okay. So
and in the evening you can come back.
Evening we can come back. And maybe we can take people to mountains there and organize a sort of a picnic lunch or picnic maybe barbecue.
Easy.
We can arrange that.
Yes, of course.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Yes.
Right. I see some local cultural activities on the screen. So is it a part of the culture, like we saw on Kiev, or even on the streets in front of the Golden Gate, people were performing. So
it's a
unique. We have some activities like this.
Yeah, the Western Ukraine has got their own unique traditions, which is different from Central Ukraine or Eastern Ukraine or Southern Ukraine cultures. Ukraine was always under someone. I mean, they were either occupied by Mongolians, by Polish, by Lviv, by Lithuanian, by Germans, so they have kept their culture as a this like a rebellious spirit, you can say. So they say it's a they wanted to keep the culture as a riot, as the you can take anything, you can take my freedom, you can take my my food, but you cannot take my culture. So this is the Lviv has got their own very strong cultural inheritance, or how we can say roots. So
I understand.
Their culture is absolutely different. So even traditional dresses, traditional songs, dances, everything is absolutely different. And because they were influenced by Catholic, Greco-Catholic religion, so it has got little bit of. It was influenced, but otherwise it is good as
that's appreciable. So there shouldn't be any, it's okay to preserve your own culture. It's actually their right, their birthright, in fact. I see a beautiful, delicious platter in front of me, which is more like the local food. Looks more like a local food.
Yes, it is local food.
Though this article says that vegetarians also have a lot of choices, in dishes, and they can try cabbage-filled dishes, such as borscht, vrenik, and holutis.
Yeah, different types of cheese is available, and but you can say we have to say vegetarian option is less compared to non-vegetarian option, of course. Yes, vegetarians they can find lots of vegetables, lots of fruits. Fruits are very good, super food, and lots the different types of these dairy products like cheese, like cream, sour cream, like milk. But we have to admit that the majority of the main dishes, they contain, like everywhere in the world, the non-vegetarian items. But once we had a very good option. The people asked for local food. I mean, the Indians, but they said it should be vegetarian, fully vegetarian, and they made it. So they made it. So it is okay. If you want to try, local food, if you want to try local food, but it should be if you want it vegetarian, or if you want halal, if you want like this, if you want vegan, they will do it. So as I told you, this Ukraine is very tourist friendly country. Lviv thrives. I mean, Lviv survives because of tourists.
Okay, great. I see an interesting fact in front of me. There is a rock which is called the Devil's Rock. It's a devil rock, and the ancient they say that it's a rock which fell from the sky, and some of the other stories are involved with this rock.
It is very interesting because it's this rock is seems out of nowhere because it's that area is there are not many. If you find this kind of stone is somewhere in, let's say, in Himachal or Himachal Pradesh or somewhere mountain area, then you say, yeah, it is. So what is it? But if you find in this kind of stone in somewhere in this is just in mid valley, so then different types of myths, different types of legends the people start making out.
Right. So this is again one place where there are a lot of myths are prevalent. So never thought that Ukrainians would be influenced by myths. Okay, it's a good information to know about it. Now tell me something. We also have important aspect to cover today. I think we covered this topic in our last meeting as well. It's called Chernobyl. People know this place as a catastrophe of Chernobyl, a nuclear disaster which happened in 1986. I would like you to give us, a brief idea about this area and how to connect it from Kyiv. However, I had this, the map says the distance is about 135 kilometers. From Kyiv, you can connect there. I'm sure by road should be a good option to connect to Chernobyl. But please explain us about this place and what locals feel about it, and what are the things we have to take care of when we have to visit Chernobyl.
Chernobyl. It's a it is a disaster place which is turned into a tourist place nowadays. It is like, in some way it is good, but in some way it is very bad. It's a sad information that the place where the people used to live, which used to be a very good place to stay with the family, but it has got very long history, by the way. And but now, because of this human error, it turned into it's like this no man's land nowadays.
Yeah, I would like to share one important information to our participants as well, that Chernobyl is now actually a part of Indian educational curriculum. CBSE, which is the educational board in India, CBSE has included the catastrophe of Chernobyl as a part of 7th grade English literature curriculum, not the history, but literature curriculum. So this is one information I managed to find. Please continue, Mr. Salimov.
We are talking about the education system, or we are talking about Chernobyl?
No, we are talking about Chernobyl. I just wanted to share this information to our participants. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Chernobyl. What you have to take care of. Number one, it's a restricted zone, so you cannot. Not everyone can go. Not everyone can go to the Chernobyl area. So, for example, if you say I want to go to Chernobyl today, no one will allow you. So, for number one, and there are only a limited number of companies, travel companies, who are allowed to bring tourists to that Chernobyl area. And to get this permission, they have to get some kind of training. So not every guide, for example, me or someone can come and take you to that place. So only specified number and specified travel companies, they can take you there. And this is number one. Number two, in order to be able to enter that place, you have to give the passport details to those companies. They will apply on your behalf to get the permission, and it will take. You should apply minimum 3 days prior to departure date. I mean to travel date. Of course, you can do it. Let's say, for example, if you are in hurry, we can apply today, and you can get it. You can go tomorrow also. But the price will be. It's not worthwhile. I mean, the 3 times or 4 times, up to 5 times more expensive. The Chernobyl, and the only way to reach Chernobyl is by car, by road only. So there is no train, there is no nothing. So there are specially trained cars. I mean drivers with this specified route. So once you go there, you can. They will follow the only route, the certain routes where you are not allowed to. They are not allowed to turn right. They are not allowed to turn left. So they will stop somewhere in some specified areas, and the guide will explain you everything. And this is number 3. Once you go there, they will tell you you have to wear. They should not be open.
Your body should be covered. Your body should be covered.
Body should be fully covered. I mean, you should wear a cap, and you should not be wearing slippers. You should not be wearing slippers. You should not be wearing shorts. You should not be short sleeves like t-shirts and everything. And everything should be covered. And number four, you are not allowed to take anything out of the Chernobyl area. Whatever you find, you may find some maybe stone or some kind of, it may contain radiation, which you will not feel, but after some time it will start destroying your health. And what else?
Well, what actually people see when they visit Chernobyl? What is there to see? I mean, because I understand it's a disaster site, so everything is tarnished, and maybe you see broken buildings. So when the guide is taking you for a tour to Chernobyl, so what actually they show you?
They show you everything from. They will explain you the history of when it was built. It was built 1970s, and it was the first nuclear electric power station in Ukraine. And the 4th reactor got blasted during test. So many things, and they will explain you all this. And what is unique about this place is you will see what will happen if God save us, if something happens, during, let's say, nuclear war. There are so many talks about war between Russia and USA, between Russia and China, China and USA. India has got power; it's a nuke bombs. Pakistan has got its nuke bombs. China has got. It is a good lesson for the people to understand what may happen or safe if in case any of the countries they start using atomic bombs. You know, it's a unique.
I
How to say,
understand, you know,
you once you go there, for example, you are living, and the people were not allowed to take anything apart from the passports, apart from the documents, whatever the belongings they used to have. Let's say they used to have, you know, the bed and all these valuable items.
Yeah,
they are left there. You know, once you go there, you will see it. You will see everything.
okay, so that's something really you know, informational, because people have been hearing a lot about this recently, because on a popular web series is also there about Chernobyl, and people have been watching that of lately. I know there was much information. There was a lot of information, in fact, today about this entire Lviv and Chernobyl's sector. And we really appreciate you devoting your time on these subjects. Thank you so much for joining in today, Anwar. And I'm sure our participants must have understood some in-depth information on this area. For our travel agents, for our partners who have joined today, I would like to inform them that if they want to stay connected to our updates, if they want to stay connected to our any information about the destination, all they need to do is, as you can see on your screen, we have a portal called Agent Connect. So all you need to do is just go to Agent Connect, register yourself, create an ID. It's free of cost, doesn't charge anything at all, and you can get live access to our inventory. You can get live access to our prices, which we are publishing for our travel agents only. And that is one place where everything is updated on time. So you don't have to, you know, just keep on calling people. You can just simply access to this portal and stay connected with us at any point of time. I again would like to, you know, thank all of you for joining us today. And I hope that you should stay safe, stay at home, and, you know, as per the government's guidelines. And we just pray together that all of us should come out of this issue as soon as possible, because everybody is suffering. Tourism is one area where it's, you know, it's the big. Let us all together for the benefit of everyone. We talk about Tajikistan, especially about Tajikistan, called Safed Dara and War Zone. So do read about it and come up with your questions on chat. We're going to answer your questions on chat tomorrow. Let's talk about Tajikistan tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining in today. Have a nice day.